Welcome, everybody, to the Chuck Tiz Podcast, Episode 3, a.k.a. the Christmas Special. I have two co-hosts tonight. I have Jared, who is with us on the 10 Commandments of Chasing the Bag, and I have my younger brother Spencer in the house. Everybody say hello.
What's up? What's up?
Well, you both said the same thing, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, we're gonna do a Christmas special tonight, guys. Today. Sorry, not tonight. It's today.
It is tonight.
No, it's today.
What time is it?
In 4 minutes.
Basically, we're recording this on Christmas Eve, but it drops on Christmas Day, so I said it's today. Jared just fucked that up for me, okay?
Hang on.
Jared, what? Jared?
It's being recorded on both Christmas Eve and Christmas Day.
It's true. Okay, he has a point. I'm not gonna fucking argue with him. Anyways, we're gonna talk about a couple things today. One of them being the subject of the top 5 Christmas movies in our opinions, and please do leave your comments with your opinions. Not that we care about them, but we just like to hear what you have to say. And then we're going to talk about a couple other things, but as the segments roll, you will hear them. So, segment number 1. Wait. Before we get into segment number 1, first of all, I made a mistake. I need to always do this at the start of my podcast because it's good for the world to know this kind of stuff. So, right now, as I said yesterday, the current world population is 7.7 billion people. Can anybody guess how many births there were just today?
I mean, I want to say that probably like 100,000, 200,000.
Okay, Jared.
300,000.
You're looking. 383,000 today, and the number's growing. How many deaths today?
Probably like 18, 19, 20,000, I'm guessing. I don't know.
Good.
80,000.
160,000. So what does that make our net population growth for the day?
A lot.
222,000 people today on the planet.
That's messed up.
So as I'm going to reiterate from last time, those are scary numbers, guys. And I'm going to repeat another thing, which is kind of screwed up. We have 44 years left till we run out of oil. This is calculated. I'm not making this up. I can tell you where I'm getting this information from. This information is coming literally. Oh, the website's not showing up. It doesn't matter. All I know is we have 44 years, okay? Until we run out of all of our oil supply. Here it is right here. Sorry. How many barrels do we have left? We have 1,522,435,000,000 and 702,000 counting down astronomically quickly. It says actually 43 years. It changed from last night. Wow. Days till the end of oil. And one day that changed. I've never seen that because it's at 44 for a long time. That's scary. That's a scary thing to think about. Think about that. And how accurate is it? If you don't believe me, just go check out World Proved Reserve of Oil and Natural Gas, most recent estimates. Just type that in Google and it will tell you. And this is not something I'm making up. That's a fucking scary thing. Because we got to get that thing fixed.
It's kind of crazy how we've just completely extracted all the oil that used to be inside the earth. And it's pretty much empty now. in such a short amount of time.
Well, we don't know, I think, specifically how much oil is left. I think it's a guesstimate. But if we only have 43 years left,
We're fucked.
no. Well,
We'll have to transition.
Exactly. It's going to be a transition. I like to bring these things up because they're good things to know. We're coming to an end of a decade that was one of the craziest decades I've ever had to deal with in my life. Business-wise, just everything. But I think these are things that that you guys should be, knowledgeable about. A lot of people don't know about this shit, and they need to. Okay, it's just look it up. It's all about the numbers, man. Since 12 o'clock has hit, it's funny, the numbers at birth today. It's 12:01 where we are, and just in 1 minute, 2 minutes, 600 births have already happened. And 242 deaths have happened just in 2 minutes. That's crazy, guys. That's insane.
On the side note, it's actually no more tonight. It's actually today.
Right, but just in the 2 minutes that we crossed over.
It is actually today.
Right, in the
It's
2 minutes
Christmas.
that we crossed over, that's how fast it goes.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody, because it is Christmas now.
Merry Christmas.
And I'll tell you what we're doing right now. Our first segment today, boom, 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 is the top 5 Christmas movies. Okay? We're going to give our opinions, and please leave your comments, but I'll tell you what we're watching right now, which I think is number 1, in my opinion. It is my favorite movie, but it is also a good Christmas movie. It's Die Hard. Bruce Willis shooting motherfuckers up, dude. Now I got a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho. Okay? That's number 1 for me. Okay? I'll let Spencer give his opinion on his choice.
Okay, yeah. So on a side note, I Die Hard. It's a good Christmas movie, but I don't know how in the hell it could when people watch it, they think of Christmas because it's just Bruce Willis absolutely just shitting on all these people, just killing them up.
But it's a Christmas movie.
Yeah, it's a
Spencer,
Christmas
because
movie.
It takes place during a Christmas party.
Yeah, I know that, but in my opinion, best Christmas movie, it's got to be Home Alone 2. Home Alone 2 is absolutely iconic.
I will definitely say that's a good
Home Alone 2, because you go from Home Alone 1 and being stuck at his house.
It's funny. Spencer wasn't even alive when any of the Home Alones came out.
Yeah, no shit.
Even the third one, which is horrible. It was even Macaulay Culkin. Macaulay Culkin's on crack or some shit right now. We don't even know.
He now? I don't fucking know. I was a kid when he recorded it.
It doesn't matter how old Macaulay Culkin is. The fact is he's gone off the deep end.
No, but okay, so when you watch Home Alone 1 being stuck at his house, every kid that watched that, for me when I watched it when I was little, I was like, holy shit, this guy's a badass. And then,
but can you imagine watching it when I was little, when it first came out in theaters?
well, yeah, you probably were holy shit, this movie's.
It was the best movie ever as a kid until my dad showed me Die Hard, and then I was like, wow. And I was 10 years old, and I was like, this is the best movie I've ever seen. And then I realized it's a Christmas movie, or it can fall into that category.
But then Home Alone 2, he's the kid's in New York. He's living on his own. He's got his daddy's credit card, and he's just vibing, just going through New York, and realizes his family's in Florida. And you also get the Christmas spirit, and everyone's being loving on each other, especially at the end of the movie where the whole family gets together. And when he helps out the toy
What
store.
about the first Home Alone?
I like that one too. I just watched.
I think that should fall into the category too.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, I've watched Home Alone 1 and Home Alone 2.
So you're telling me that Home Alone 2 rates higher than Home Alone 1?
Yes, in my opinion, yes, I think it does.
Okay. I can probably agree with that. I think that's a valid statement. What do you think, Jared?
I haven't seen many Christmas movies.
You've never seen Home Alone 1
You've never
or
seen
2?
Home Alone?
Dude, I haven't seen many movies at all.
Whoa, all right. Well, then,
Okay, whoa.
do you have any input here at all?
To be honest, no. But I like to learn about these movies. If you want to give me a little.
Well, I'll tell you this.
Little summary.
Right now we're watching Die Hard 1. When the infamous Hans Gruber, aka I forgot actually the actor's name.
I don't know. This German guy is just a fucking.
No. He died though. His name was. He was in Harry Potter. It doesn't matter. Yeah, we'll figure that out. But regardless, we're watching Die Hard 1 right now as we speak because it's Christmas Day technically now, but even if Christmas. This movie just got me because I just, John McClane, fucking Bruce Willis, just taking things on, being proactive and going out there and basically saving the day in a 30-story building on his own. And it's a Christmas movie because it takes place on Christmas Eve in 1988. I was 2 years old back then. Spencer was almost...
I was negative 13 years old.
He was negative 13 years old. Anyways, so we have 3 movies now. We have Die Hard, in my opinion, as number 1.
I mean, also, I think a classic, which, everyone, doesn't think about, but, I don't know, it's called Elf with Will Ferrell.
Yeah, of course.
That's a classic.
That's going to hit the list, for sure.
That's going to hit the list for sure, because Will Ferrell...
The girls really like that movie.
Yeah, the girls love Elf, because it's just, Will Ferrell goes to... he thinks he's adopted from... the North Pole, and then goes back to New York to find his family. I mean, I think, why are so many Christmas movies in New York?
Because New York's the largest city in the country.
I mean, but still, you look at Home Alone 2, New York. You look at Die Hard, New York. Elf, New York. Where the fuck's Texas?
There's a couple.
Houston, LA.
There's a couple of movies. LA has a ton of movies that are based in LA, but Houston does not. Now I can name a couple. Twins from 1992 with Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger took place not fully in Houston, but they did go to Houston in the movie. Shit, man, there's a couple. There's one with what's the guy's name? Ethan Hawke did a movie with Ben Stiller, and I can't remember the name of it. It was an early 90s movie. It took place in Houston. There are movies that do take place in Houston, but Houston's not your movie kind of town. It's an oil boom town. But we are on the rise. We're on the rise.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Okay, so we got 4.
And
I think the 5th and final.
The Grinch?
No, I think it's gonna be The Christmas Story.
Yeah, probably. I've never seen that movie.
They play it 24/7 on Christmas Day. It's a classic. I've seen it so many damn times. I won't ever watch it again, but it's one of those movies that, it's like a tradition thing, and I don't really even like it, but I think it fits at number 5, in my opinion.
I could see that. I've never seen it, I've heard it's one of the classics, but I mean, also movies that could be an honorable mention, from the old times, Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
Charlie Brown, The Grinch. What's that old Christmas movie with Rudolph and there's the Yeti, and they're all they look like Muppets, puppets. You know what I'm talking about?
Like a Muppets Christmas or something? I don't know.
No. No, it's I can't describe it, but they're little. Fuck, I don't know, but I'll have to find the name. But it's with Rudolph and all of them, and they're dressed as like puppets. I don't know exactly.
Your teenage ass lost me. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. You can look it up. But on another note, that's segment 1. We've got our 5 movies, and Spencer has a recommendation about some Muppets or puppets or something with Rudolph and a red-nosed reindeer. So segment number 2. But before I jump into segment number 2, I would like to shout out to 2 of my favorite podcasts. One being my good buddy Casey Kiernan, who does AM Hoops every weekday morning, going over every NBA game in detail about what happened, who won, all the details. And the reason why I like it, not just because he's my good friend, and he's really good at speaking. He's way better than I am at speaking live. He literally breaks every game down into so much detail that you don't even have to watch the NBA, and you can listen to this podcast and totally be up to speed. And I listen to it every morning first thing. Literally. That's the first thing I do. And I'm not even like the hugest NBA fan. I like the Rockets. I mean, I love the Rockets. But that being said, it's very informative to hear it. If you guys want to know anything and everything about the NBA, go follow my buddy Casey Kernan at AM Hoops. Okay, it's on Apple Podcast. Another shout out real quick to my personal inspiration to even do a podcast in the first place is my boy Ross Bolin, RPB gang. I think we all know who he is, right, Jared?
Yeah. RBP gang.
Yeah, he's a fellow Houstonian just like me. He's in Austin, but
hey, going off what Ross Bolin says, I eat Chipotle all the goddamn time. It's probably my favorite fast food chain.
What do you think of their napkins?
Oh no, you gotta cut the check. That's like that is 100%.
CTFC, cut the fucking check.
No,
right?
so yeah, I go there maybe, especially in the summer. I
hope you're stealing their Tabasco bottles and everything.
I go maybe 7 times out of 2 weeks. I go maybe there one. Like I eat there a lot. And today I ordered it off the Chipotle app, which is a good time. And like the guy brought it to my house, and I swear to God, he gave me so many napkins, and I was like, this guy definitely watches Ross Bolin. I've seen videos, and me and my friends would go to Chipotle. My friends will take like Tabasco bottles. They'll take the whole fucking cart of napkins. Like, yeah, cut the check.
Yeah, I mean, Ross Bolin
you know
has
my
definitely
favorite thing?
started a movement against Chipotle, and I really haven't figured out where that started from. Do you guys know why? Like,
I think it's because they're too expensive, but it's just fucking food in a bowl.
no,
and it's like $15.
there's got to be a different reason.
You know what I like that he does?
I mean, he tweeted something out. I remember because
I think maybe like he was gonna get a sponsorship, or he like shouted out to them and like they never paid, and I think that's why it's like cut the fucking check. Hey, y'all hear that squeaking sound? Like that's our dog squeaking in the background. But anyways, what I think, and I don't know this for true or for sure. I think what happened was Ross had a potential sponsorship with Chipotle, and he was shouting out to them, and they never cut the check. So he basically inspired his entire like listening crew to just steal every napkin, Tabasco bottle, and like plastic silverware that you possibly could. I think that's what happened. I could be wrong. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Jared, correct me if I'm wrong.
That sounds pretty right.
And Ross,
I can't remember that going on.
I don't know. I don't. I'm making an assumption.
Yeah.
And Ross, if you're listening, which I know you're not, but one day maybe you will. I'm very curious to where that came from.
What I like that he does is when he does the stuff to Wikipedia when you're high.
Oh yeah, that's the best.
That's
man.
That's probably my favorite segment. He did this
That,
one.
or the animal of the week. Like, all I'm saying is Ross was the biggest inspiration for me to even create this podcast. And I'm not trying to copy his platform by any means, but the 2 episodes I've already done, I've gotten such great feedback. It's like,
It's just a place to speak your mind.
yeah, it is a place to be, right. And you know what? And Ross he's from Houston. He went to Westside High School. I went to Bel Air. We're the same age. We had mutual friends. It's all good. But anyways, I'm not. We gotta get off the rant of the bowling podcast. But all I gotta say is, gang, big supporter. Listen to every single episode, literally.
Please check it out.
Please, guys. If you don't know about the Ross Bolin podcast, check it out. It's on Apple. It's on Spotify.
If you think we're entertaining, you'll think Ross is a god.
Yeah,
I mean, Ross does things on another level. He's been doing it for a long time, and he just likes to speak his mind. He's a good dude. He's pretty funny.
I'd say he's really funny, and it's worth listening to. That's all I got to say. So our next segment that I kind of want to dive into here is I want to get a perspective from me being a 33-year-old man to talking to an 18 and 19-year-old that I'm sitting here with on Christmas night. Well, it's Christmas Day technically, but I'm gonna still call it Christmas Eve. Man, when I was a kid, like, Christmas was so special. Like, you know, and also my family is very diversified religiously. My dad is Jewish. My stepmother is Catholic. My mother is Methodist. I was throwing around, like, religion like crazy, so I was just tired of it. And I know I've said this before. I just don't have time for that shit, right? I just don't. But I'm not a religious person to begin with. You can call me spiritual. You can call me whatever you want. But I still do enjoy the holidays, Hanukkah, Christmas. I don't really do Kwanzaa, but, you know, I'll celebrate that too. I don't care.
I like it because, especially being in college now, I don't get to see my family that much, and it's nice having everyone in the same place right when I get home, to be able to see everyone at once and catch up with people. And
yeah, I mean, I remember those days.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, like, those days are so long gone for me.
Yeah.
And here's the difference. It's like back then, even when you were younger, you know, Christmas was almost like it was more than a holiday. Because I knew I was going to get a bunch of gifts, and as a kid, and I didn't have to give any gifts, right?
Christmas was a shit when I was little. Like, I mean,
nobody expected me to give gifts as a kid. But now, as a 33-year-old man, I mean, I just shelled out almost $1,000 in gifts in the past 2 days. Because it's at that point where I can't show up empty-handed. But my brother Spencer can.
No, I can't. Not anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I can, but I'll still be a little frowned on. Like,
I get it. Okay.
It basically changed until I got to high school. Like, I would go into 8th grade, middle school. I was, even out of our whole family, I've always been the youngest. And from our aunts and uncles, and I would get the cool presents. I would be the kid that would get showered with gifts because I'm the youngest by far. And then, probably starting my sophomore, junior year, I started having to giving gifts from my parents, from my siblings. And then this year, I had to get every person I'm close to a gift, which I've never done before, because, like, people, like, don't, like, I'm 18 years old, and, like, now, if I, like, don't get a gift, they're like, oh, like, kind of, like, they're not, like, ungrateful, but, like, I should have the responsibility of getting my siblings, my parents, people I love, gifts, because, like, I'm becoming an adult, and that's what adults do.
No. You are an adult. You're 18 years old. You are officially considered an adult.
Well, yeah, that is true.
So, yes, maybe I'm speaking at you at an age about that I should have spoke to you about when you were younger. But the point being is, Christmas is not the same to me as it used to be as a child. Because, you know, Santa Claus, Jesus, whatever you want to call it, it's just all about, you know, I don't mind giving gifts. It's fine. You know, I like doing that kind of stuff. But it's like almost like a task. And when you're working a full-time job and you're working hard for your money, and then you gotta go out and buy all these gifts, and it's just like, can I revert back to the child days when I didn't have to worry about that and just all I got was gifts? I just wish it would be that way. But you know what? I'm an adult, and it's fine. And my brother Spencer, you know, he's got a point. He's not a child anymore. He is considered an adult, but you're really not going to have to deal with what I have to deal with as far as gift giving and buying until you're out of college.
Yeah, also, like, for some people, this is, like, I kind of, for me, like, when you, like, receive gifts, like, especially, like, the ones you, like, are, like, God, like, damn, like, I got what I wanted this year, like, cool, but, like, also, like, for me, like, if I give a gift to someone and I know they really wanted it, and, like, when they open it up and you see that excitement on their face, that's, like, something cool. Like, giving a gift to someone and they're like, Jesus Christ, like, thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
Like, giving gifts are cool. Like, sometimes I like giving gifts.
It's
more
like
than
giving. It's like
them.
giving, like,
Making someone happy.
like change to the homeless, you know, or you know, like,
They've done studies on this, I'm pretty sure.
Right, well, I mean, think about it. Like, this time of year, are you more prone to give out when you see a homeless guy on the street asking for money?
I mean, to me, I don't keep that. I don't keep cash on me. I don't have that much
Cash,
cash on me.
change?
I mean, I don't have change in my car, but like,
If you did.
but like when I go to like work out, sometimes I'll have like an extra water bottle, like chips in my car for some weird reason. I'll get them to him because like I guarantee you, like if you give $1 to a homeless person, they're like, oh, but if they give you like a bottle of water or a bag of chips to like almost something, like
I have a story.
they're gonna think that's more sentimental.
For the story, most of the time, if you give these guys money, they're going to buy alcohol or drugs with it.
Yeah,
Usually.
probably.
No. It's like guaranteed almost, for the most part. They're homeless pretty much for a reason. And they look like they're doing some pretty heavy drugs or drinking a lot.
At the corner of, what is it? 59 and Fountain View. There are these guys who sit there. They're there every single day of the week. I don't remember.
Are they looking for work?
No. They're not looking for work. What they do is they have the squeegee and they wash your window. And there was this one day, you know what I'm talking about?
I was at that same intersection.
Listen.
I had to yell at this motherfucker to get off my car.
Listen, they're the nicest people, okay?
But I didn't want him touching my shit.
Hold on. Listen.
I told him to get the fuck off.
I always had that same like thought about them, but they're such nice people. There was this one day where this guy started squeegeeing my window, and I rolled down the window. I go, "Hey man, I'm sorry, I don't have any cash, any change on me." He goes, "Don't worry about it." And he just continued to do his job and do what he loves doing, and squeegeeing my window. And there was this one day I was coming back from dinner with my friends, and I had eaten a lot, and I actually had a brand new order of chicken tenders and fries from this place we were at. And I was like, you know what, I'm not going to eat this. Like, I don't really want it. And
were you at Cane's, Raising Cane's, or where'd you go?
I think it was at Whataburger on San Felipe, yeah.
Not Waterburger, Whataburger.
Yeah, that's what I said.
You said Waterburger.
Whataburger.
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 Like what? A burger?
Yes, I know how it's
Not
spelled.
a Waterburger.
It's obviously.
I grew up calling it Waterburger my whole life. Until I realized it was called Whataburger.
Have you ever read the sign?
Yeah, but as a kid I didn't give a shit. As an adult I realized.
Okay, anyways, back to the story. I had these
off topic a little bit. Sorry.
I had these chicken tenders, and I pull up to that intersection. It's probably like midnight. And I see this guy, and he's sitting there. I roll down the window. I give it to him, and you know he has like 3 of his buddies with him. And the guy sees like the Whataburger thing, and they start jumping and dancing around. They were so excited. I think like you said, with those people that, you know, you don't know where, if you give them money, you don't know where that money's going. But I think the best way to help them out is if you have food or drink or whatever it may be, give them that, because that's something that they can enjoy, that they probably need if they really are homeless and not just trying to hustle you, and something that you know where your money's going.
No, I agree. 100%. Dude, I agree with that, because I always wonder, you know, if I give a homeless person or somebody who's living on the streets money, panhandlers, whatever you want to call them, I have a friend, literally a friend from high school. I'm not going to say any names, but like good friend, college, high school. He is a panhandler on the streets in Houston, literally. I've come across him several times. It's sad, but it's the life he chose. There's only so much I can do. But what I'm getting at is I'm agreeing with Jared, because, you know, when you give them money or change, you know, they'll stack that up and probably go buy something that's not good for them.
Yeah.
But if you have something like water or extra food or something, you know at least they're going to eat that. They're not going to throw it away. They're going to eat that and or drink it or whatever, and you know that at least you helped them out and didn't like enable them to get drugs or alcohol or whatever it is that caused them to be in that situation in the first place. And I'm not saying anything, like I know there's probably people out there that are just struggling and has nothing to do with drugs or alcohol. They're just out there. You just don't know. But for the most part, you can pretty much tell though who's fucked up and who's not, right? So anyways, back to kind of the giving spirit, the segment we're talking about. Christmas and like these holiday seasons over the past, 12 years for me at least, they're great. I love it. It brings family together. But it's this, being obligated and having to buy the gifts and just, it's not the same as it was as when you're a kid, man. It's not. So if you're a kid and you're listening to this, fucking enjoy the shit out of that shit. Like, enjoy it. Like, Santa Claus is coming to town, dude. Don't worry about the coal. I've got plenty of coal under my tree. But I've also gotten plenty of presents. But I've also given a lot of presents. On that note, unless you guys have anything else to say on that segment, we can jump into something else.
Yeah, let's go to segment 3.
Well, honestly, I didn't really plan a segment 3. We can just wing it. I'll let Jared or Spencer pick the topic. It can be Christmas related or somewhat holiday related or just whatever. Honestly, doesn't have.
I'm interested to hear about Spencer because
we don't want to get into his personal.
No. In relation to the holidays, because he's grown up celebrating. Because he celebrates Hanukkah and he celebrates Christmas.
So do I.
Really?
Of course I do. I was bar mitzvahed, dude.
Yeah,
I was bar mitzvahed, but my stepmother's Catholic.
Okay, I didn't.
My mother is
I've
Methodist.
I've never met your stepmother.
Yes, you have.
Or no, your mother.
She's downstairs.
Sorry, your mother.
What I'm saying is I grew up around like 3 different religions, and you grew up around 2, Spencer.
So do y'all get gifts for Hanukkah and Christmas?
Yes.
Yeah,
we always have all our lives. I have 3 Christmases I have to go to. One with my mom, one with my stepmother's family, and one that we do as a family. And at the same time, we're doing Hanukkah whenever it falls, like whatever year it is. So yeah, I mean, shit, dude. Yeah, I did it all. And that made me being kind of trapped and like forced to believe or practice these religions. And nobody by any means has to take this to heart. I am just speaking for myself. Okay? I am not a religious person at all. Actually, I don't believe in religion, period. I think Christmas is a great holiday and it gets everybody together, but Hanukkah, all this stuff, this is all stuff that was written down in a book by a man or a person, thousands of years ago. And we're just choosing to believe that it's the truth, right? I mean, right or wrong. Am I a spiritual person? Do I believe that there is... Yeah, I am a spiritual person. I should be dead for some of the things that have happened in my life. Seriously, I shouldn't be alive. I don't know how I am, but somebody's looking out for me. I'm not going into detail about any of that. But what I'm saying is, yes, I would say I'm a spiritual person, but religion to me is a man-made thing. It was written down by a human being that was either hallucinating or just had these ideas. And not to say they're not true or false. You believe what you want. This is just my opinion. It was written down by a human being. It's not like God got a pen out and wrote this shit down. Okay?
I'm pretty spiritual too, I'd say.
No, I'm very spiritual. I believe that like I've been through so much shit in my life. Like I said, I should have died several times for multiple reasons. Somebody looking out for me.
I feel like I have these moments though where like you can feel it kind of, and then it's
no, for sure,
yeah.
100%. I'm just talking about religion, okay?
Yeah.
Religion, and I'm just gonna reiterate this. I'm not persuading anybody to to knock their religion. I'm not, but that's the way I feel because religion more to me is like a man-made thing. It's like a belief that somebody wrote thousands of years ago, but how can we trust it? Like, how do we know if that's actually what happened? I mean, for all we know, these guys were running in the fields, eating mushrooms, tripping balls, and like writing this shit down. I mean, or whatever. It doesn't matter. I mean, maybe there was other like drugs, like shit back then that we don't even know about that they were taking, and thought they saw a burning bush, and thought they saw God, I mean, the name itself. What I'm getting at is the bottom line is not to ruin everybody's Christmas spirit.
Yeah, dude, what the fuck? You just said that all the gospels and prophets running
No,
around.
no.
Dolls on mushrooms.
You just called religion a fraud.
No, well, it's kind of the way I feel, though. I mean, because it's man-made, right? It's a man-made thing. You can't deny
The bottom
that.
line is believe whatever.
That's why there's fucking freedom of a fucking religion, dude.
It is. It's great.
Just believe whatever you feel.
Yes, believe what you want. Believe what you want. Everybody has the right to believe whatever they want. Literally. I mean, you guys might think I'm an asshole after this. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
If you're very religious and...
But I think it's good, though, that, like, even though, you know, it may not be the religious part of Christmas, but you still do find something that's created from religion, you know what I mean?
It brings people together.
Exactly.
It's I think that's...
Like even
that's the whole
going to
point.
worship or whatever, you
I
know,
mean,
you may not even
Thanksgiving,
believe...
Jesus, we murdered all the Indians. But we had a dinner with them, and we celebrate that.
Yeah, but there was a lot of fucked up shit that went down at that dinner.
Oh, I know, but we still celebrate it every year. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's almost along those things.
Do you think the way the political climate's going, that one day there will be no such thing as Thanksgiving?
No, I don't believe Thanksgiving is going to go anywhere. Not when we're alive. To be honest with you, call me crazy again. I think maybe not in my lifetime, but in y'all's, you guys might see the end of days. Of life as we know it today. Like as a structural society, global commerce, like a global society.
Yeah.
I think by the time you guys reach your 70s, if we make it that far, there is going to be some dramatic changes due to climate change, overpopulation, GMO modified, not enough food. I mean,
There's
just
some crazy shit. You know about all this
pollution,
genetic...
the ice melting. I mean, just there's a lot of things that are going to happen in the next 50 years that I
might
might not be around for. But you guys probably will be if you live to be that long, and you're going to witness that. And I might be lucky enough.
Some of the futuristic shit that's actually going on, that's like less. I mean, it's known, but like it's not really like very widespread. Like for example. Like, what's it called? Like cloning and shit like that. Like stem cells fine. Stem cells fine,
but it's also like banned and like frowned upon.
Listen, think about this. What if we lived in a society where 20 years down the road, you could choose what genes from each parent you want to go into your child, and you could select those characteristics and those phenotypes and make them your actual child. You know how crazy that would be? Do you think that would be...
Dude, we're not... They're probably already doing that. I mean, that's probably already doable.
No,
they're probably already figured it out.
I've heard about that technology starting to come around.
I mean, like, they're probably field testing that in some lab. I mean, it's probably already been done. I mean, dude, the government does so much work. I watched a video today that I did not know about this. I don't have my laptop running. I want to pull up the address. There is a building in New York City, and I was watching something on Cheddar today while I was taking a break, and there's a building like almost in the Chelsea area of New York City in Manhattan, and it is a I think it's a 30-story building or something close to that, but it has no windows. 0 windows. It's concrete from top to bottom.
So there's no light that gets in?
There is no windows. And it was built sometime in the 60s or the 70s, supposedly by AT&T. But from what I watched on this video, it was pretty crazy. I forgot the street address. They call it the... Here, I'll look it up real quick. But while I'm looking it up, basically, think about this for a second. Every building, in any city, every skyscraper, whatever, has windows. So think about seeing a building that's at least minimum 30 stories and it has 0 windows. It's just like concrete from top to bottom. I mean, yeah, that's normal.
That's not normal whatsoever.
So yeah,
That's just like
I'm gonna look it
that just
up.
looks like some Soviet Union facility.
No, but it's in New York, and it's in Manhattan. I mean, it's.
I've never been up to New York, so I don't.
I've been there, but what I'm saying is skyscraper. Or sorry, Thompson Street.
Oh wait, so like on the other side for you guys who are listening, so fantasy, it depends how you set up your league, is I think it's on its final week in the championship. Are you in the fantasy league?
No, I don't, that's the one thing, Spencer. I've never been into fantasy. I've never done it. I probably never will.
No, I've been doing it with my buddies for a couple of years now, and I mean if your fantasy team legit just sucked, then yeah, I feel for you. It happened to a bunch of my friends.
You have any league traditions?
We got, so I don't know about you guys, but we have this thing called a Sacco. So the winner, obviously, they get their money. Like, okay. But the loser, the worst team in the league, or how y'all do it, the worst team in the playoffs, they have to do, like, some bullshit job, like the Sacco. And the Sacco, it's...
The loser?
The loser, yeah. So...
There's a punishment?
The loser gets a punishment, the worst team. And so they have to do, like, stupid shit. Like, there's, like, some, like, dress up in, like, a thong, like a stripper clothes and go to a party. But there's, like, or, like, dye your hair or, like, get a buzz cut. But, yeah, dude, Sacco sucks. Like, I've never been it personally, but because this year I'm in the championship, my fantasy team's been doing real well, and I have the chance to win some money. But, yeah. Did you ever do fantasy?
I did.
I've never done it. All my friends, it's all they talk about all fucking time. Fantasy. I'm like, you know what, man? Like, I just don't have time for it. I mean, I know people that spend their entire day, like, literally just checking that stuff. Yeah, cool. It's all fun and great. But at the same time, it's like, me personally, on a personal level, I just don't give a fuck. And I don't care. I do not.
I can see that.
But I want to go back on this building that I was talking about in New York. It's at 33 Thomas Street, okay? I'm going to read this out, okay? 33 Thomas Street, formerly the AT&T Long Lines building, is a 550-foot tall skyscraper in Civic Center, Lower Manhattan. It stands on the east side of Church Street between Thomas and Worth Street. The building 4ESS. The building is an example of the brutalist architectural style. It is a telephone exchange or wire center building which contained 3 major local exchange carrier service. However, it is not used for incumbent local exchange carrier services. It's and it is not a central office. The CLLI code, which I don't even know what that means, for this facility is NYC MNYBW. Don't really understand that. But the building also has been described likely as the location of a national security agency, NSA, mass surveillance hubbed or codenamed Titan Point. And that is what I saw on the on Cheddar, on the YouTube thing I saw today. It's kind of sketchy. And this has to go back to Snowden, by the way, Jared. Snowden reported about a location in one of his articles that he released of a place called what was it called? Titan Point.
Yeah.
And but they weren't able. That was the one thing that he wasn't able to say. He knew where that was. But after he went off and went into exile, he.
Yeah, you can go.
What? No.
No, I was gonna say something else. Like, different from the building.
Okay, so while he's been off in exile, wherever he is, Russia, it doesn't matter. People took his report and did their own research and put their research together. And basically, they came to the conclusion, after putting every single report together and cross-referencing everything, that this Titan Point, like in this NSA secret place, like CIA, is 33 Thomas Street in New York City. The only building that is...
You think they like had prisoners and shit?
Well, supposedly AT&T... Well, so AT&T owns the building. And if you notice around Houston, actually, by the way, if you notice around Houston, you see these AT&T buildings, they don't have many windows.
Yeah. You know the one off 610?
There's several of them. There's a reason for it. I think it has a lot to do with keeping their data servers cooled. But AT&T, it made sense. When I heard this, installed the building, I was like, that's like an AT&T building. Like I see those all over town. It was like right on point. And they had extra floors, and supposedly they leased out a lot of those floors to the NSA. And it's sketchy. I mean, you're not even allowed to even go even in the lobby of this building. The only way that you're even actually
think about this,
legally allowed to get access is a block away is the FBI New York headquarters. You have to go in there first, get approved, and then maybe you can get in, is what I heard.
Well, think about this. It's just an extra layer of security. There's no windows, so no one can see in, number one. Two, no one can break through a window.
That's the whole
concrete.
point.
Yeah.
That's the whole point.
That's probably why they set up shop there.
It's the whole point.
Yeah.
It's because it's almost... Supposedly the building was built to withstand like a nuclear attack. It's what...
And they've got...
It's what the Cheddar video
They've
said.
got precious data in there, I'm sure.
Who knows what they have in there? I
I
mean...
mean, if it's a fucking building that's all seasoned to that they gotta have something there.
I mean, what I'm getting at is I just thought that was very an interesting thing that I learned today off of YouTube. I watch a ton of like random YouTube videos,
Same.
like Cheddar, Fox, Vice, like any like of these like videos are informative. Like, I do get a lot of my information from that.
Can I give a shout out right now?
Sure.
Speaking of informative information and kind of free thinking and stuff like this, kind of goes along what we're talking about right now. But if you haven't seen it, which I'm sure you've heard of the guy, he's an absolute legend, whether it be with the UFC, whether it be with a bunch of stuff. My man Joe Rogan, the Joe Rogan Experience.
Great podcast.
Shout out Joe Rogan. Yesterday was actually the 10th anniversary of his first episode of JRE.
Yeah, he's got a lot, man. It's crazy. How many episodes is it?
It's
800, 900,
it's crazy.
1,000? Is it over 1,000?
I think it's over 1,000, I'm pretty sure.
He's got, out of all the podcasts I follow, for sure he's got the highest number of episodes. And he's interviewing someone every time. Right? And I think pretty much every
Did you
single...
see his Snowden?
No, we talked about this. I said I started it and I didn't finish it. I need to finish it. But yeah, I saw some of it. But I don't want to even talk about it because I kind of want to start it over.
Yeah.
But
anyways, if you haven't seen Joe Rogan, he's on YouTube. He's on every platform. But YouTube videos are how I watch them. You can see the video, and he has another page where it's condensed clips, like individual clips instead of the actual whole podcast, where you can see him talk about
highlights.
Specific highlights and stuff like that. You should give him a look and look at his stuff. He's a great guy, and he debunks some of the craziest stuff. He had this guy on, I can't remember his name. It's this guy who used to work for Area 51. I don't know if you've seen.
I heard about this.
Yeah.
I heard about this, but I didn't hear about it through the Joe Rogan thing.
I was watching
think I saw it on
watching it at the
Vox
river.
or Vice or
this
something
guy,
like that.
Yeah, so this guy, he was working for Area 51, and he's very heavily involved in the science community. And basically what he was working on UFOs. He was trying to reverse engineer a gravity propulsion vehicle. And this technology was something that the science community had been trying to figure out for many years, and he felt that since the government had been holding this information away from the people, it was an infringement on the science community. And he was on the news the whole time it was going on. He brought his friends, and they watched these demonstrations where they would pretty much fly these vehicles. It's crazy. He has some very interesting people on there, whether it be, A-list celebrities, some people you've probably never heard of, military people.
For sure, I've listened to plenty of Joe Rogan Experience podcasts, whatever you want to call it, and had no idea who he was interviewing, but they're always interesting. But let me just say right now, anybody who's probably listening to this probably knows about the Joe Rogan Experience. Yeah. They might not know about RBP, gang, 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 or AM Hoops, but Joe Rogan's up there. He's a legend. He's a legend, and in the podcast game, and anything he's basically done, he's been on. UFC, anything he's touched.
But this goes back to what you were saying about watching like those interesting pages. That's something that I think fits into that too. Like Cheddar, Fox, all those places, those interesting videos.
That's where I get a lot of my news from. I don't really look. I'll wake up, I listen to AM Hoops first thing. Okay, then I turn on the news, and I get on my computer, and I turn on the local Houston news because I don't want to listen to Good Morning America and all that shit. I want to know what's going on around me. Right now, I don't typically accept and believe or even care about what the local news has to say, more than just what's the traffic like and what's the weather like. And yeah, this guy got killed, or that's usually what they talk about. Murder, and it's crazy.
That's what people want to hear about. I don't want to hear about traffic stops.
Well, no, but I do because
Are you a big documentary guy?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
What's your favorite documentary on Netflix?
On Netflix?
I just like the 30 for 30s. ESPN, the sports players.
I don't know. I don't know what's on Netflix and what's not. I'll tell you what one of my favorite documentaries is, though, and it's one of them. It's not my ultimate favorite, but it's up there. And it came out in 2017, 2 years ago. It's the Defiant ones on HBO with Jimmy Iovine and Dr. Dre. It's a 4-episode series. If you haven't seen it, oh my God, please go watch it. It's awesome. It breaks down the entire history of where Interscope Records was created, Dr. Dre's come up, Suge Knight, Tupac, Tom Petty, No Doubt, Bruce Springsteen. This guy Jimmy Iovine is, if you want to talk about a genius in the business world, this dude had it. And he did it. He owns, just with Dr. Dre, they sold Beats Music to Apple, which is now Apple Music. And it made Dre the first billionaire rapper / producer. They started Beats Music, they just didn't have the platform for it. And Jimmy Iovine realized that. Jimmy Iovine is a producer, basically. He's a businessman. Have you seen this?
No, I haven't.
Okay, you need to watch it.
Guys, I have one thing to say real quick. All right, this goes back to our episode yesterday about chasing the bag. If you want to learn how to chase the bag besides us, start following people who have absolutely captured the bag and filled that to the top, and learn about them and watch stuff like this and do as much as you can, because you'll learn a ton of stuff.
But a bunch of high school kids, they follow fucking Dan Bilzerian. What do you say?
Yeah, but
Dan Bilzerian,
Spencer,
he filled the bag.
Hold on a second. I gotta stop.
But Dan Bilzerian inherited his money.
I'm gonna stop that. Who cares where Dan Bilzerian got his money from? There's people you choose to follow. Okay, you can choose to follow that kind of shit, which I do. I follow that shit, but I also follow things that are meaningful. And I know this. There's a difference. There's a line drawn in the sand with you young kids that. I'm not saying you two are different, because I think you're smart as shit and you're smart as shit, both of you. But you're on a different level, Jared. You don't you see through the bullshit. You see through the bullshit.
Can I chime in real quick?
Yeah, sure.
About a year ago, I was on Instagram, and in high school, you have those pages you follow and stuff that you follow and stuff like that. And then I had this thought, I was thinking about how the stuff that you follow and how often I'm on Instagram, it's literally the stuff that you're filling your mind with, the ideas, the thoughts, everything. and I went on my account and I unfollowed everything that I thought wasn't something that I wanted to influence my thought. And then I started finding places to follow that I felt like would be good things for me to learn from. Inspirational and stuff like that. And stuff that related to what I want to do and things for me to learn that'll help me with what I want to do. And if you're one of those people that kind of just follow stuff and you ever think like, why am I following this? Like, this isn't really that interesting, whatever. Do one of those takeovers where you just wipe out your account and start following new things and always be on the lookout for shit like that.
No. And Jared's got a point, and what I was trying to say is like, you know, you have the people that like to follow like the, you know, top tier, TFM, you know, old row, like just dumb shit, like just people doing like dumb stuff, or you know, you can choose to follow whatever you want on your social media accounts, or don't even follow them on your social media accounts. But like, if you're on the internet, like, you know, don't just listen to the goddamn news on the TV, okay? Because they are scripted to they can't say certain things. They can't. They cannot. They are own people. Almost like slaves in a sense. But if you can somehow get on the internet, and I'm gonna be honest with you, there was a point in time in my life, not that long, you know, maybe it was 5 years ago, Vice, before Vice got like big, where it's on HBO and all this, and now I can't really say that it's legitimate, but like they do report on a lot of stuff than just your regular news channels. But like I believed everything they had to say, and I realized that that's not the case because they're basically paid off. And what I'm getting at, or what I'm driving at, is don't just rely on the news. Don't rely on one source. Like, you know, look up the information yourself. Like take every piece of it, if it's something that you're really interested in investigating. Like, take every piece, put it together, and come up with your own conclusion. Because don't just take somebody else's answer. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, if you really want to know something, like, do the research, do the due diligence. Don't just like take these people's word for it on TV. They're paid to do that. They're paid to do that. And we totally got off topic here. And that is again, I'm going to continue to say this every time we listen to Chuck Tiz podcast. I'm going to go on a rant. We're going to go on a rant. We're going to get off topic. We're going to get off segment. It's fine. As long as you enjoy it. But we are getting to the point where we're going to have one last thing and then we're out. Because I want to enjoy the rest of my Christmas Eve / early Christmas morning. And on that note, we are going to cut this segment off. So now I have a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Don't do anything stupid. Happy holidays. Adios.